everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for a movie review, documentary review about beer. This is combining both of this channel's, at least 2 out of the 3 channels' purposes. I'm going to do a review of a documentary of a movie, I guess, where documentaries are movies, poured in Pennsylvania. And it's about the Commonwealth's beer history. Has Dick Yingling in it, Carol Stoudt, Harris Family Brewery. So this is pretty cool. I actually grew up in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. It's not where I lived. I went to high school in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Spent a lot of time, neighboring town for me. I knew the Yingling girls, met Dick Yingling, of course. My sister actually got married at the Yingling mansion. So pretty big, grew up on Yingling. So I'm kind of excited to see this because it's, you know, a movie type thing, documentary, and it's about beer. So that's the other half of this channel, other third of this channel. If only they threw in fantasy football, we'd have a hat trick. Alright, so let me get into it here a little bit. I don't know if I'll need any check-ins or not, but probably let you know how it's going. Either way, bottom line is I'll let you know if it's worth watching. I don't know how it can't be. So let me get into it here a little bit, find out. 6.4 on IMDb. So let me get back to it. We'll see how it is. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Poured in Pennsylvania. This was made in 2018, and I tell you what, like, for myself, a beer lover, and I make beer, a home brewer, I guess, out of practice home brewer. I really found it was very, very interesting. I enjoyed it. And I'm assuming, I don't know this, I mean, I think it's probably appeared to me because I'm in Pennsylvania. There might be poured in Oregon, poured in, you know, wherever. You know, California, that kind of thing. But this was really all about Pennsylvania, and that's one reason why I enjoyed it. I mean, all the different breweries that I saw up there, ones that I see all the time, ones that I've visited, brewers that I've met, were in this, and you know, it was just I found that very, very interesting to me. You know, and you know, ones that I've never heard of, some out in Pittsburgh and stuff like that. And different things along those lines, hearing their stories about where they've come from, you know, what goes into the entire building your own brewery process kind of thing. You start out real quick, let me back up. It started with, you know, showing the opening scene, Appalachian Brewing Company, which is down in Harrisburg, where for years I lived in Harrisburg, and we would go to the ABC all the time. And this was back when I drank just Yingling Lager. Everywhere I went, Yingling Lager, Yingling Lager. Again, Pennsylvania brewed beer there, and Dick Yingling's in it. But you go there, well, that's not it. They have their own beer, and it was like new to me way back in the day, in the 90s and you know, early 2000s, when I was going to this place to go see bands and stuff like that. They'd have a band, and my one friend actually bartended there, and it's like, what do you got that tastes like Yingling Lager? And like, that's how far I've come. Now I realize, you know, like realizing that, wow, that was a craft brewery back in the day that I used to go to all the time. And then finally broke myself out of drinking one kind of beer and now drink as many different kinds of beers as I can. Anyway, it started with that and it ended with a gag reel. So even better, you know what I mean? Seeing everybody that we just watched there going through a gag reel, loved that part. Loved the fact that, you know, Dick Yingling was in it. Minimally, but Wendy Yingling was in it like 3 times, and she's in the gag reel. We graduated the same year, different high schools, but you know, you guys might have seen Spud in some of these videos. Spud graduated with her, so I was friends with her. We hang in similar circles back in the day, so it was great to see her as a part of this. But then the whole story, everything that goes along with it, it starts out and it really gets you interested. Like at first, it's only an hour and 31 minutes long, but I want to say the first maybe half hour, I don't know, 15 minutes, half hour, I don't know, it all comes together, and that's why I didn't check in. I was just so engaged. But, you know, I was like, I got to start thinking about making my own brewery again, you know, and that's, home brewers always think that, like, oh, I could do this. And then it takes you on a roller coaster ride of that, you know, and it comes back, and they're not telling you, like, the pitfalls of it, but, like, you know, one thing I forget is how scientific it is. There's so many people who've gone to school for chemistry and biology and you know, agriculture, everything along those lines that really know the ins and outs, whereas I don't. I just know, what I like it tasting like, so I don't have that side of it. I don't think I'd be a good head brewer, if you will. So it's like, okay, that's why I've never made my own brewery, attempted to make my own brewery. This is why. And then it comes back to other things, and it comes back up, and it gets you interested again. Gets you interested in starting home brewing again, getting the equipment out and cleaning it out and going into it. Get you interested in visiting these places again. I didn't realize that Pennsylvania produces more beer than any other state. That's what they said on this. I didn't know that. That's pretty neat. And that, they could see, like, prior to Prohibition, they said there was a brew pub or a brewery or something like that per 10,000 people, which is amazing to think that's how many were. And they could see it, not to spoiler alert, they could see us getting back to that as craft brewing continues to explode, having one in every hometown. And then, like, you're excited, okay, that could be me. I could make the brewery here in my hometown, you know what I mean? So it's like all over the place, like what you feel like, and all that kind of stuff. And I can tell you that if you are from Pennsylvania and you like beer, you're going to want to see this. If you're a home brewer, you're going to want to see this, even if you're not from Pennsylvania. I don't know. I mean, like, if you're from Pennsylvania, you're going to like it. If you homebrew, if you like beer, anything along those lines, it's a very, very interesting piece. And 6.4 on IMDb, I'm not sure why it would be low, because I would think people who would see this would think it's, interesting for those reasons. But I think I'm going to have to dust off the equipment and start brewing again. That's for sure. So keep, if you see this, keep an eye out on Kimmel's Irish Pub, the YouTube channel, because it's going to show me out there again goofing off. I've got some ingredients laying around. I don't know how good they are, but I might just throw it all together to see if I still know how to do it. That at least motivated me that far. And then look into the legalities of starting my own, because they say that it's, again, something different in Pennsylvania than it is in other states. How ridiculous Pennsylvania is with selling beer and alcohol, state-owned, and you can buy cases in distributors, but you can't buy them in, the Unimarts kind of thing. You can only buy, all that stuff. But evidently, opening up your own brewery, as long as you have the licenses, doesn't matter by size. You can open up a, half-keg brewery, they said, if you wanted to. So I'm going to start looking into that, too. And so check this out. If you do, let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. Definitely getting back into drinking good beer, making beer, and thinking more about beer. Just what I need, right? All right. So hopefully I helped you out. Again, if you like any of this stuff, absolutely check this out. I am going to leave you with something else, because I realize now, as we finish this out, that I mentioned I've lived in Pottsville. I didn't live in Pottsville. I hung out in Pottsville, went to school in Pottsville and stuff like that. It was very close to Yingling. And before I get into that, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That's the subscribe button right there, hopefully. And I am going to put the movie playlist there, hopefully. I don't know if this will work. And the beer playlist there, so that you can go ahead and check out some of the beer things that I've done in